Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to On Our Heads, doing all the sharing and the liking and letting your friends know. We really do appreciate it. Today's my birthday. We recorded on my birthday, so you're getting this right now. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
I'm 48 years old.
You only look 47.
Thanks.
You got it.
Joe, what's the best way to listen to the All in Our Head podcast?
Our favorite way, if you have iPhone, download the Laughable app at laughable.com/download, where you could subscribe to our podcast as well as our individual pages. So go into search and type in Joe Fernandez and Mike Gaffney. You can follow us, and you'll get a notification whenever we're on somebody else's podcast. Also, iHeartRadio, if you have an Android, or iTunes, Stitcher Radio, there's a lot of places to find us.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what do we talk about today?
Today we talked about your birthday. We talked about people wishing Facebook happy birthdays.
Right.
People. We talked about comedians in how people dress on stage. Some etiquette.
That's right. Yeah, outfits.
Outfits. When we talked a little bit about Chester Bennington's suicide and people's reaction to it.
Yes, that's a big. I would say if you wanted to tune in for a good topic, the suicide topic was a good topic.
It was a good cast. I think it was one of our best casts lately. So definitely check it out, everybody. Thanks for listening. Check it out.
You're listening to All in Our Heads with Joe Fernandez and Mike Gaffney. Please enjoy the show.
What can I do for you?
Happy birthday, dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Happy birthday podcast. Mike, everybody in podcastingville or podcasting world, the All in Our Heads podcast fans, wish Mike Gaffney a happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, today is the day, actually. Not
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's today.
Yeah, I'll release it tonight, so you may get a few birthday listens.
Yeah. We're recording it on my birthday.
Yeah, recording on his birthday. So if you haven't Facebooked him yet, then you probably don't love him and you're mean. I guess.
And if you have, can you do a little more than HBD, please?
Is there anything
anything less significant than HBD?
Or the real cool guys go or something like.
Yeah.
It's I didn't realize I was hanging with Fonzie in my life.
I'm getting a lot of this today. Happy B day. B and then space day. The letter B just standing alone.
Yeah, that's because they don't want to go through the spelling of it. Maybe their phone is just saying, "Do you want to put B day?"
Yeah.
And you're yeah, fuck, I got shit to do. Let's go. Yeah, he gets it.
Some days though, I'll open up my I'll open up my wall and see the birthdays. I'll go, let me say some happy birthdays to people, and it'll be 18. I'm get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I gotta know you. This is typically how I do birthdays. If someone I really know it's their birthday, I do it, and then whoever's under them, I'll because it gives you it's so and so's birthday today. Then you click on it, it gives you a list of all the birthdays.
Yeah, right.
That's a good shot of you getting a birthday from me.
If the lead
guy is someone I know, then I'll go down. But I rarely go if the lead guy ain't someone. Because I feel like Facebook knows who my lead people are. I think they know who you interact with.
Everybody that's the lead, just the name. Today's birthday is Joe Smith. That guy usually I don't know, and I have to click Joe Smith to find out who everybody else's birthday is.
Yeah.
But if I see Joe Smith and 17 others have birthdays today, I'm happy birthday, everybody. I'm not going through everybody's name. But then sometimes I'll open it and see who's there, and then I'll realize, it's a cousin or a really good friend. Let me go say happy birthday to them.
Yeah. Now they're doing a thing where they recommend a picture of you and the person if you want to wish them a happy birthday.
Oh, really?
My dog trainer, Mary, from the Canine Cure, give her a free plug. Nice. Great dog training, Mary Jean. And so it came up, said, your friend Mary Jean's birthday's today. Share this picture. It was her and Cody on their last day of training. So right. I put I shared it to her. I was like, happy birthday to the best dog trainer.
I think I saw that. Yeah,
and she goes, thanks, Cody. Then I had to say that Facebook picked this picture because I didn't want to be like, it was Joe that gay where he's fucking toiling through his pictures to get this picture for my birthday. I was like, I think Mary's going to think I'm gay. So I was like, Facebook actually recommended this, and that's how it came upon. I really felt insecure, like right after posting it. I'm like, oh.
Wait a minute. Do they think I went through years of pictures to find that one?
I got folders of everybody with Cody ready for the birthday.
That would be gay.
Well, it's been happening where I've been seeing people. If you're close, you could tell if you're close with someone when they do this new photo thing, because if I'm posted in a flyer with you, we're not that close.
No, right?
Like I got a friend-iversary from somebody who I barely hang out with, but apparently I've been on shows a lot with. So it's like, friend-iversary gives like top 5 photos. It's like Oak Barrel Pub, like all these like different things. I'm like
Tierney's.
I'm like
Facebook.
I got so many other friends that are closer than this. But you're tagged in so many photos of them that the computer's like, they must be pals.
Right.
You're like, nah, it's comedians. They're fake pals.
Yeah, so far I've gotten, before 11 o'clock this morning, I had like 500 notifications.
Yeah.
But like I said this a couple of times, like 3 years ago, I went through them because my daughter was so obsessed with the number. Like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, my daughter was like, maybe my daughter was like 15 years old. She was like, Dad, how many are you getting? Like, she could just hear the ding, ding, ding. She was just so impressed with the number.
Mike's using his daughter to talk about himself right now, but he's...
No, she was
kidding.
We all get it.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
She was just at 15, was so impressed with the number. So we went through it, and I counted how many was. But when I was doing it, I looked at everybody's name, and I was liking their comments. But everybody that I saw their name, I actually remembered some sort of interaction, whether it be they saw me on TV and just Facebook me like, hey, man, you were really funny. Or they saw me at a show and like, hey, we saw you last night at the Firehouse.
Yeah.
But I remember them. Like every interaction, it's like, oh, I know that person.
Yeah.
Like it's not like 500 strangers going to have birthday, man. They may not be intimate in my life, but I actually remember our interaction.
For sure. No, yeah, especially, I think I think you're like me in terms of like, I don't go like randomly like friend requesting millions of people. It's like you either seen me at a show or we're actually have met. Right. I have a hard time friending people haven't met.
Well,
unless like, I've friended people that I know, say like book a show and then I need to talk to them. Right. Because if you don't friend them first, then it goes into that sub message folder that
you don't even ever see it.
They never see it.
Yeah. Oh, I've had years ago, like when Facebook really just started taking off, like in 2008, 2009, I would friend anybody who was cute.
Well, yeah, you were a single guy, so it's different.
Yeah. So like it was different. But now
Instagram's for that now.
Huh?
I said Instagram's for that now.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to really get that personal on Instagram. Nah. Just look at your pictures, and we're good.
The Instagram algorithm is very weird because it gives you suggestions on what you think it thinks you want to see.
Right.
And my algorithm is sandwiches, dogs, and suicide girls. Tattooed girls, dogs, and chocolate, and all types of different fatty foods. I don't get much yoga and health food. I was going to put
this up, and I just didn't know if I can sell it. I'm getting older because I got to stay off Instagram, not because all the pictures are making me horny. It's like I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm just trying to eat healthy, and I can't go on Instagram because everyone's photos.
Yeah.
Amazing. I don't even care about the girls. I'm like looking at cheesecakes and burgers, like especially on a Saturday afternoon, everybody putting their grills up. Oh my God.
It's a trigger.
Oh, it is, man.
That's why when I do want to lose weight, it's very hard for me to go out to eat with friends.
Right.
If I really want to lose weight, because it's like, I want to order this like bland chicken or some bland salmon dish that, because if you're getting the sauce on it and shit, it's
That's the
You
fact.
might as well just get the fucking cheeseburger.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Then they're like, and they're getting all these things, and I'm like, oh, you fucking people are killing me, man. Fucking, I can't sit here and watch you fucking chew deliciously, slowly, while I choke down this dry ass chicken for my health. It's like everyone's eating, like they're like the slow motion in a shampoo commercial. It's like, am I set good? It's nice.
You had that. Last night I went back to the cellar and you had the chicken.
The chicken cutlet the other night?
Yeah, and I got it last night. It was okay. And I've had it back in the day. They've changed the breading on it.
Oh, they changed the breading, but they put like spice under the breading. Nice.
Yeah, but it's good. It was very tasty, but I got it without the potatoes. I just got it with the vegetables, and my potato was hummus. Like I got a thing of hummus with just cucumbers.
Yeah.
So like that's not really that bad for
you. You don't like potatoes?
I do, but I'm trying not to eat that kind of stuff.
Oh, potatoes are bad?
Yep.
Why?
Not really that good for you.
Right.
Buttery, fucking starchy potatoes aren't that good for you.
I thought, in moderation. Very, very rarely do I eat potatoes, so I think it's good for me because I eat them like once in a blue moon.
Yeah. Sweet potatoes are okay for you. Depends on how they're cooked, I think.
Yeah. But, not like I get them at Outback. Can I get it with brown sugar, butter, and honey?
And a dollop of whipped cream?
Yeah.
No, so I got that last night. But the breading wasn't that. I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. And then I had a piece of candy last night because it was my birthday. I'm like, I'm eating candy. And then my daughter hit me up and was like, we're taking you out to the buffet today. And I'm like, well, looks like I'm not going to be eating healthy today.
It's your birthday. It's almost sinful to not give yourself freedom.
I'm just trying to fit into clothes for Vegas, to be honest with you. I got to go 7 days on stage. That's 7 different outfits. My fat ass fits into like 3.
Yeah.
So I need to get my ass into 7 outfits.
When is that?
August 7th.
All right, you have no time.
But I've been doing that 17-day diet, which is pure just like all clean foods, steamed, grilled, steamed, grains.
That worked for you the last time. You fucking lost a ton of weight fast.
Yeah,
you almost looked like you got an illness. I was like, oh boy.
Looks like Mike's going to be making an announcement.
I don't want to ask straight up, but you been to the doctor lately? Any news? Any podcast breaking news?
Is our cover going to be a picture of you in the hospital, dead?
Yeah. Yikes.
Well, I've been doing it for maybe like 8 days now, solid, and I think I've dropped about maybe 7 pounds already, 6-7 pounds.
That's good.
So if I can just keep going, I'll probably drop another 10, 12 pounds if I can stay straight.
Yeah.
If I can drop 20 pounds before I go away, I can fit into my fucking pants. Right. I need 3 more pairs of shirts, 3 more shirts and another pair of pants to fit into, and I'm golden.
Yeah.
There's going to be a recycle in that week.
You have to. I mean, come on. You're in those clothes for what? A half hour?
Half hour. Yeah.
You can yeah, I mean.
Yeah, no, there's a recycle.
Yeah.
Like Mondays will be wore Thursday. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tuesdays is worn on Friday. Wednesdays is worn on Saturday. Thursdays is worn on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I got the plan.
You got the plan. You got a little chart out. You got a little fucking marker, a little dry erase board. It's my road dry erase board for clothes. That's how I do. Very thorough. Very thorough.
But I'm always like trying to dress like, but I can wear T-shirts on. I mean, I'm going to be able to, I'm going to try to loosen up a little bit. And like when I do a show, I want to be able to wear what I wear during the week too.
Do you feel though, like when I don't know, like whenever I feel like I've never been in that room in Vegas, but whenever I feel like I'm at a casino or like a theater type,
I dress it up a little bit.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like I feel like even if I wear sneakers, they got to be like clean looking new sneakers.
Absolutely.
Like I feel like I got to look a little better. But like when I'm on an egg crate in a fucking bar, I'm like,
every shirt I wear on stage will be a fucking button up.
Yeah. So you won't go like hoodie and like Foo Fighters T-shirt.
No, I'm not doing that. Although I want to start doing that, but I'm not. I'm not the headliner. Like I'm the feature.
Yeah, but even so, at a casino, you even if you're going casual, it should be like a nice casual. It shouldn't be that casual. It shouldn't be.
No, you're right. Especially in front of a crowd that doesn't know me. I think though, once you become big enough to where 200 people came to see you, I think you should be able to dress how the fuck you want.
Oh yeah. If you're at that level, Louis C.K. did a HBO special with a black shirt with a stain on it.
Right, exactly.
Because he can. Because when you're that level, you're not trying to. They love you. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, right.
Bert Kreischer takes his shirt off immediately.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But you know what? His fans love it. It's his thing.
Yeah.
And they love it, and it's what he does. So it's
right.
Like, yeah, if we did it, we look like fools.
I've never.
But I'm saying like that's his character. It's his.
Yeah.
It's who he
is.
Hilarious.
It works.
Right, it's working for you.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I remember, I'm not stuck on that. Well, you got to dress better. Like, I think you do need to dress nicer, decent. You don't want to be like the bummy guy.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the dirtier than most of the audience. You want to be a little nicer.
Yeah.
Especially in a nice casino. It is. You're right.
Yeah, I remember I did that one casino up in upstate New York. I forget the name of it. Maybe Turning Stone. Is that upstate New York?
Yeah, that's it. Turning Stone.
And they made you wear at least a sport coat. Yeah. They said you can take it off when you're on stage.
Right.
But they want you when you're coming on stage to be in a sport coat.
Right.
They didn't care if you wore sneakers and the jeans, but they wanted to be clean sneakers. Like they had rules they sent me.
Yeah.
So I did. I got a sport coat, and I wound up leaving it on the whole time, and I felt it just the venue seemed like it did call for that.
That's right. No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like I probably would have felt uncomfortable not being like that because I said I'm like I don't know if I could perform in a sports coat. I never did. I'm gonna have to do 2 jokes, then hang this on the mic stand.
Yeah.
And then you just forget you have a sports coat on.
Yeah.
You know, if it's going well. If it was going bad and I was bombing and sweating, I'd been like, where can I hang this? This is terrible. You see me throw it down like, I've had enough of this career. Sweat my balls off bombing at a casino.
Well, the first time I was at Vegas, I think I had 3 different sports coat looks, 3 different sports coats and I bought shirts and different pants to wear with all 3 sports coats.
Uh-huh.
So I wore it 7 days like that. I wore them, you know what I mean? I just kept switching it up and mixing up the looks, but I wore a sports coat every time. When I was at the Borgata, the first time I did that, I wore a sports coat every night. But then the second time around, I'm like, the headliner's not even wearing a sports coat every night. I'm going to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That seems like a place that would have rules like the one I was at.
The Borgata did want you to dress nice, but like Rob McNally doesn't wear a sports coat. He just wears a nice shirt.
But it's a really nice shirt, dress pants.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You dress with nice clothes on. You don't dress sloppy. I wear expensive jeans, nice shoes, and a nice shirt.
Right. Yeah. As long as you can tell, look presentable. I don't think performing in a suit. I did a roast in a suit, in a tuxedo, and it was so hot, man. And I was doing well, and I'm just sitting at a podium, and I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't wait to fucking rip that tie off. I couldn't imagine doing an hour,
right,
in that. No way. I watch Robert Schimmel, and he's always in a suit. You know, he was always in a suit doing his hour special on HBO, and I'm like. But he always wore that if he was doing. But actually, no. I saw him at a club and he was t-shirt, t-shirt and jeans.
Well, when I was the first time I was at Vegas, Brad hosted, does 35, 40 minutes up front, nice suit on every night, really nice suit.
Yeah.
Then me, and then Eddie Ift, t-shirt, baseball hat, and jeans, and Vans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's his look. That's who he is. That's his thing. That's his look.
But it's a clean look.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's a clean
look. It doesn't look like he just came off the beach surfing.
No, some people, even you do some spots sometimes where it's not as important, but you're like, yeah, dude, you look like you fucking did landscaping all day. What the fuck's going on here? I know this isn't the greatest club and this isn't your shot, but...
Right.
I mean, this crowd's you look like you should be in the crowd.
Right. Right.
That's what that Sebastian said to us. He's like, you should look a little bit better than the audience.
Right. Yeah.
You should look like you just came out of the audience on stage.
Right.
especially on like a Friday, Saturday night.
I mean, it's hard because I would like to really wear nice clothes on stage.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, man. I think I made it on that stage. I mean,
yeah, no, I get it. I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying I do, but I understand I get the
theory
of it. I understand the theory.
Absolutely, and back in the day, it was like it still is. They're coming out for entertainment. I think that's one of the problems is when the audience, when the entertainer looks like a scruff in the audience. It's like, well, I can do that then. What did I pay for?
It's like it's not even thought about by them, but it's like, what's that? When it's like not in the forefront, it's like kind of like God, I hate fucking thinking of words.
That should be the name of your next dictionary. God, I hate thinking of words.
Like subconsciously, it affects the audience. They're not like kind of like when I was a musician. Now, I didn't dress any time in my real life like I did on stage.
On stage, right?
But you act like a musician. It's almost like a costume. It's a little different. It's almost like you are on stage, but a little bit more showy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I think nowadays with people going up there, T-shirts, hoodies, and everybody in the audience has T-shirts and hoodies. That's what gives the audience the thought that they can do comedy.
Yeah.
It takes away this whole thing that it's a special thing. Like, that's special. We're watching something special happen. Not everyone can do that. But that guy has the same shirt I'm wearing.
Well, that's what. Yeah, we were talking about the comedian. I stopped by Rick Adonis' show at Egan's the other night, and we were all talking after the show, hanging around the table, and we were talking about comedian outfits, how they changed over the years. Like what people. I remember when I started, it was like bowling shirts. A lot of comedians wear bowling shirts. I remember my first show, that show where I met you. I bought like what I thought was like a shirt comedians wear. Oh, okay. Like literally, like. Right. I mean, I never thought I was going to do comedy. I was literally that was going to be my one and only comedy show that night with you. And but then you saw it, like, it was bowling shirts. Like everybody had those button up. Yeah. And then I used to like to wear flannels, and then it became the flannel thing. Right. And then like it was like a few months ago, someone's like referenced like me wearing flannels because I'm a comedian. I'm like, no, I actually wore flannel before this thing. Yeah. And now I have to stop. Like, I was texting Kerry a few weeks ago. I'm shopping in the mall for shirts. I'm like, they only sell flannel. I'm having a very hard time finding a straight color shirt. But I'm like, I'm not leaving here with a flannel because I have to like get out of it because now it's a thing. Yeah. And then we were talking about how the hoodie is a thing. Right. And it seems to be guys have comedy outfits. Girls, they just do whatever the hell they want.
Absolutely. But
guys, it's like you see one.
There's no trending for girls.
There's no trending. No. They're just like go up and like. Yeah. But like, yeah, like I like to wear flannels, but now I'm insecure about it. So I have to wait till that goes away to bring it back. Right. I mean, I'm not going to take it that far. If I want to fucking wear a flannel one day,
guys who like have beards like all their life, and now it's like, oh, you do the beard? Like, no, man. I've always had a beard, man. I've done beards my whole life. Yeah. It's the guy with the handlebar mustache that I don't believe.
Nah, yeah. Yeah, if you start doing it, Joe, I really think you're starting to try to. I swear, dude, I always wore these. You don't remember? Handlebar mustaches. I always wore that.
I always drove a weird tricycle around. You know that.
A lot of bald comedians now. It's not a trend, but no one bothers me. People that are bald that don't have to be, like, that shave their head. I'm like, I don't know what type of sick human you are. I'm working with Tom D'Addario, like in the fall. We were messaging, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm working with you in October." I said, "That's a lot of bald for one show." I go, "I'll be the comedian before the gym version. You'll be the after version."
Troy Allen does a joke about people asking him, "Are you bald on purpose?" Because the one question I hate the most is when people say,
I saw that. Yeah. Purpose? Yeah, what did he say? I forget what he
says. Something. No, I went for this look like I'm in a KKK rally or something like that. Yeah.
It's amazing when people ask you, like, is true. Like, I was telling that to somebody the other day. I was like, some people when I do recovery jokes about me being in recovery, people go, "Are you really?" I'm like, if I can make up anything about myself, right? Why would I pick that character?
They ask that about everything, though, to be honest with you. Every show, you really have kids? To me. Every show. Do you really have kids? You think I spent 30 minutes of that hour?
Yeah, because it's good at picking up chicks. So I figured. Because girls like that.
Yeah, girls love baggage.
Yeah. I've found that the most beautiful girls love a guy with baggage and anger. So,
and who clearly doesn't want any more children. They love that.
They love that. Love it. I was getting no tail before that. I was talking about partying and fucking going to islands and shit and fucking. I was
helicopter rides over the city, but they were like, "Nah, we don't want it."
Man, I was talking about sex and banging, fucking grabbing the stool and fucking. I was getting nobody. Talking about kids, these broads were all over me. Got my flannel shirt on, I'm ready. Comedy.
How the fuck do you make? I'm like, how do you make up the angst and like passion about being a parent and how your kids drive you nuts, and you think that just got made up?
Like, because I think they think this is like something they can do, and it's like so easy. It's like,
yeah.
I think you're right about that. Like people seeing, you see that a lot. I think people really do think they're more than ever nowadays.
Absolutely, and especially with all these avenues for them to do their own, what they think is funny stuff. They put their little like I have a friend, I'm not going to mention her name. She's a really good girl, and she puts up little videos. Like she's always making like a video of her ranting about something, and she's just a woman who works like in an office. Is not inspiring to be a comedian, not inspiring to be a performer, nothing like that. But she does these little like rants, like these little funny, like daily funny rants or whatever. And I'm like, that's great. It's a little outlet for you to be funny, but where I was even thinking about just regular comedians. Why do people believe they have something that everyone wants to hear? Like, what makes some of these comics and regular people think that you have words we want to hear? Like,
yeah, I don't know about regular people. I think comics, you just, or creative people, I guess you just throw shit and try and hope something sticks, and you're just trying to create and put shit out there, you know?
But I'm thinking about people's confidence on stage and the way they sell their act, or the way a lot of times they're talking as almost like as in pontificating, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what the problem is with women, and you know what what we gotta, no, like that kind of stuff, or like, you know what we got to do with cars, like those kind of people who are telling their broad ideas of life and how we all need. What made you think that you say enough that we want to hear you? Like you don't. I mean, like you get like a Carlin or like Sam. What's his name?
Kinison?
Sam Kinison. Like these guys were saying stuff like, and Bill Hicks. They were saying stuff that like we all were like, wow, man, this fucking guy is hitting it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got some great points.
You know why those guys were good at it? I mean, my theory on why those guys were good on it, like nowadays you have the internet and this access to information.
Right.
Back then you really had to read shit.
Right.
Like go out of your way to find shit and want to learn shit.
Right.
And then you come up with a good take on shit. And now it's regurgitated dog
everyone
shit.
Has that, and everyone is making the take on it.
Right. And but it's not even like their own research. It's literally just
right.
Like it comes off phony because you're like, you don't even believe it because you didn't even the reason why Bill Hicks, Sam Kinison, George Carlin, when you're like, whoa, I've never thought of it that way, is because you didn't you
would have to research and come up with your own
conclusion.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and now it's just like it's just fucking surface bullshit.
That's why, like, even like topical humor and comedy, like I have almost 5,000 Facebook friends. They're not all comics. I mean, they're probably, I would say 1,000 of them are comics. The other ones are regular people.
Yeah.
And the amount of like, if you know, like I think when when Willis died, and everybody's like, what? Like I'm just trying to think of like one of those like Heaven's Gates, like, oh, St. Peter said, what you talking about? Like, you know, like that kind of.
Yeah.
The amount of those status posts was nauseating every day. You know, and I let people do it. I'm not trying to say don't do it, but How will you, as a comic, go on stage and have the balls to talk about a topic like that happened today when your news feed was inundated with it?
Yeah.
What's he gonna say?
Yeah.
What are you gonna say about OJ's fucking trial? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are you gonna say that Mary Rottencrotch didn't fucking say a week ago?
Right.
Like, everyone is saying it. Like the guy who's the UPS driver who has Facebook said it. The fucking landscaper, when he got home from work, he said a dumb joke about OJ. What are you gonna say about this fucking parole hearing? There's so much out there. So you got to be so different to bring that topic up. And comics are way better. I've seen a million posts, and then you see the special comedian like who knew how to make it funny.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I tied my OJ joke in with Trump, and I got some good likes.
Like Greg, I'm saying not do it, but because the internet is flooded with regular people doing it.
Oh, yeah.
When you go on stage and do it, they've heard every version of something like this just from their stupid mailman on Facebook.
Well, that's why these comics that are doing Trump material, it's not working. It's such surface, just hatred. There's no nuance to,
right?
Like it's just hate him. He's a piece of garbage. You're just like, all right, but like what?
That's why, like look at all those night shows, the Daily Show, the Nightly Show, this week with John Oliver, Bill Maher, Colbert, all great shows on their own. Seth Meyers, they're all talking about the same topic.
I feel like personally, I feel like leave that to Bill Maher, John Oliver. That's what they do. Like Seth Meyers, you interview fucking celebrities. Like Saturday Night Live, like I get it's funny to skits, but it's like you're a one trick pony now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like I've never, you know what I mean? It's almost like too much. It's like, my personal opinion, they're almost making him like a sympathetic figure to his followers because everyone smashes him. You know what I mean? But it's just too much of the same jokes is like what you're saying.
And I'm just saying, like just with that OJ thing the other day, like I forget who someone had. I want to say Greg Rogel. Had probably the best OJ. I saw two really funny. I'm like, wow, that's a really good way to say that. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, not that, but there's so many similar jokes.
Yeah.
That the audience, when they come to a show, have already heard some sort of form of the joke you're going to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so hard to be with everyone thinking they're funny and everyone thinking they can post jokes and everybody from, the landscaper to the comic posting the same type of idea. It's like, wow, man, it's like it's harder and harder to make stand-up comedy special.
Yeah.
Because everyone has this voice all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, it's weird. It's definitely changed. I mean, the amount of information you get and point of views you can get, especially even probably with the amount of comedians that are out there today.
Right.
Like the term hack is almost nobody's talking about anything original anymore. Like you can't even use that term anymore. It's like nobody's.
You know
what I mean?
I don't know if I ever put the word hack with a beat up premise. Like, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, like how many you got to talk about. You got to talk about topics, and you got to talk about politics, and you got to talk about your point of view. It's just harder to be standout original when your dental hygienist can post the same similar idea.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. See, but it makes what we do special. They can't get on stage and do it. They could do it behind a keyboard.
Absolutely. That's what makes us special.
Yeah.
But in their minds, we aren't that much special.
Oh, no.
In a room,
definitely not.
You know what I mean? When they're sitting in the room and they're watching a guy look the way all the people look in the audience and pretty much say exactly what everyone else has said.
Yeah, it kind of like the internet. Like it's weird. Like for all the great things that come, It's like the greatest thing.
Technology.
It dilutes because it's the same aspect. It take away the specialness, like the behind the curtains. Like this is like a special thing. Right. They know too much about us.
Right.
The illusion that we're coming up with it. Remember, like the time when you went to go see a comedian, you're like, this guy's genius. He just comes up with this stuff
just
in the moment.
Yeah.
Like it's too much, and then I think because like I used to say this about comedians, I think they went like humble. Like I'm big on being a humble person, but I think sometimes they went like the other way, like where it's like back in the day when you wouldn't even be in the same room as the audience, like you'd be introduced as the comedian. I still see comedians say that today. Like I worked with bigger comedians. They're like, I don't want to be in the room with them,
right? No,
for that reason. But like but there's the comics that are so that way, like, who gives a fuck, man?
Yeah.
Look where we're at. We're in this restaurant. What are you acting big? It's like, well, no, but like.
It's part of
like, don't you care about what you do? Like, I know you want to be cool. I get it. I know you're so cool. I get it. No one's cooler than you. We're going to get that out of the way. But you should have some respect for the art form. Or not even the art form. I hate you calling it the art form. For show. For
showmanship of it.
Showmanship is a better word.
I mean, the whole thing is a science. I mean, it really is a science. The lighting, the sound, the backdrop, the tables, the fucking the color of the room. It all is part of the science of what makes the night great. And if you, the comic, are sitting at the same fucking table in the VFW, it's a VFW. Yes, I know. But, there's the comics for the night, sitting there crying over their notes. You know what I'm saying? Eating that leftover fucking plate of pasta we gave them.
Yeah.
Like, that's just you're not special, man.
I know. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah.
Like, I want people to be like, who's up? Who's performing? I don't know. Oh, look, there he is.
Well, I noticed that working at Uncle Vinny's, the more famous people I open for there,
they sit in that back room.
Or in the back room.
Yeah.
And maybe they passed through quickly and somebody saw them, but they were in that back room. Yeah. And the less famous ones are like sitting eating pasta at a table, and like I used to sit out at the table, and then I started kind of I'm going to go in the office, you know.
Right.
I'm like there's a difference when you're introduced,
right?
You know what I mean? Because it's like, I thought you were the busboy. You know what I mean? Like, like I thought, like I thought you were taking tickets,
right?
You know what I mean? There's I don't know. Maybe it's just me, like me and you. Like I like that aspect of it. You know what I mean?
I think it adds a little to the special show. The night they went out, Friday night, and it was a special night. Like I mean, like listen, like if you're at the comedy club. I mean, at the Comedy Cellar, people are downstairs. They don't know who's going to come down the stairs, right?
Right.
Somebody comes down the stairs and they're like, "Oh my god!" And then later on that night, maybe they come up for drinks and they're so like enamored to see them at the back table. It's special.
Yeah.
Because it's after the show and they're kind of behind backstage now, right?
Yeah.
That's the same. Well, like that's pretty cool. But then you go, to the stand or something like that, and they're all standing in front, and the people walk right through the group, and like maybe that's that audience. Maybe they're like so cool. Everybody's so cool that they're so cool. We're just all cool, and we just go on stage and ramble, man. You know how we do, fucking riffing, whatever they fucking are trying to sell to the world. But yes, there's places where you just kind of grimy and just hanging out. But I think there's when you're doing a bigger show, there should be some showmanship to it.
That's how I feel.
There should, like even Gotham. And Gotham's a great club, but you're kind of sitting right there. Like everybody walks in to go get to their seat, and there's a whole right wall of people that are going to perform.
Downstairs or upstairs? You're talking about
upstairs.
Like upstairs,
when you come into the big room, you open the doors, and the whole right wall is like a couch of comics.
Yeah.
And then the people go to the left and go into the showroom, and it's dark, and they can't see that you're the comic over there, so you're kind of like not really blending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's still like you're just, and you got to watch the show. It's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know. Or the downstairs room where all the comics are at the bar in the back.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's odd.
Up that guy.
Yeah. But if you were to like say to the comics like, yo, we should be doing, they'd be like, Who the fuck do you think you are? The fuck?
This guy, you fucking prima donna. He wants a green room at the fucking shitty open mic. Like, no.
Oh, I don't want a green room. I just don't want to be in the room. I was nice, because I've been doing a few more spots in the city. And, I'm used to going to these road rooms where I got a feature or headline and you're there for like the whole night.
Yeah.
But it's been night, like I've been getting used to like, oh, my spot's at midnight. I can roll in.
Right.
Hit it and run out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was
nice feel.
It's a nice feel. You know what I mean? Because there is nowhere to hang, and I feel weird in the hallway. You just pop in, pop out. Oh man. Oh, so when you're talking about like people posting shit, that could segue into something I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Like something was bothering me, but then like you I had like a whole post ready to go, like a rant, and then I'm like, why am I inviting insanity into my life? I just deleted it because the Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, the lead singer, committed suicide, and it bothers me to no end when I see people say you're a selfish piece of shit. You had 6 kids. I hate when people call suicide selfish.
6 kids?
He had 6 kids.
Oh, I didn't know. I knew he had kids, but I didn't know 6.
But I don't subscribe to it as being selfish. It's a fucking disease, man.
Yeah.
And I spoke to someone, a friend of ours, I won't say on the podcast, who told me that their father had killed themselves.
Right.
And I was like, because I was talking about, I was sick of, we were privately speaking, and I was saying how I'm sick of the selfishness.
Right.
And he's explained to me, he has firsthand experience. He's like, it's the least selfish thing.
Right.
Because my point is, you're being to expect someone to live in misery so that you don't have to deal with it is ultimately selfish.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it disgusts me because people don't look at mental illness as a real disease.
Right.
That's it's the same thing as if someone had cancer. Like, people that have cancer and they've gone through treatment after treatment after treatment that brutalizes your body. And then some people get to a point, I've known people that go, I don't want to do it no more.
Right.
I can't do it no more. I know it'll make me live a little longer, but I'm done.
Right.
Are you calling that person selfish?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's but I said so many people just. I saw nobody like on my side, so I thought I'd just get like fucking destroyed, and I don't need this to be my fight publicly.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was I'll save it for the podcast. I don't know how Gaffney feels about it, but it's like I
selfish. No.
I'm being selfish.
Like, what?
Wow, it's turned on me. Here's my thing, because I hate when people act like, I got kids, I don't kill myself, it's stressful. It's like you don't have depression, man.
Yeah.
Like, listen, just because you're
everyone gets depressed.
Not real depressed, man.
I know, that's the thing. Like, they think it's a choice, like, to be depressed or not.
Yeah.
Like, they think, like, my good friend Frank, like, would get, like, serious anxiety, right? And he'd get serious anxiety, and he'd be like, and I would say, well, try this. He's like, you think that I'm choosing to be seriously anxiety riddled? You think that's a choice? And I'm like, no. I'm just saying maybe in the middle of it, we can try to get out of it. I get that it's not a choice. And sometimes you're just in the middle of it and you can't get out of it. Yeah,
I get it too. I all the time I'm calling my wife because she has, and she's able to say the right things to me.
Right,
I'll be at a show and I have to go up in 5 minutes, man.
Right.
And I just started a panic attack for no reason. I've performed on the stage 100 times. I'm totally okay. Why now?
Have you ever had a panic attack on stage, like in the middle?
No.
Yeah.
No, I have a fear of that though.
It's not going to happen.
No, I know it probably won't happen, but a panic attack before stage, because this is what I feel, that I'm going to like have a meltdown, or get to the panic where I won't even know jokes.
Yeah.
But I call her.
How would that happen? Unless you had a stroke.
No, I've had panic attacks where it feels like literally like you're jumping out of your skin. Like I can't even Like I've been driving and I've pulled over because I'm like, I shouldn't be driving. That's how panic stricken I am right now.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'll call her and I'll be like, I'm at a severe panic attack right now.
Right.
And she's just like, all right. It's nothing. She doesn't know like secret. She's just like, everything's going to be okay. I just need to talk to somebody. Yeah, it's very hard to find at a comedy club when you know the host is like in his final thing. You're like, oh, fuck, man. Jesus. I've been trying to not drink a lot of coffee before I go because I feel like sometimes I'll drink some after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the panic attacks are weird, dude.
So back to, that's similar to depression. I mean, it's a thing that you can't control. Severe depression. Like I felt that like when Robin Williams, like ever since Robin Williams died.
Yeah. I've
had more of not a sympathetic, because I don't think I've ever been not sympathetic to suicide. Yeah. I've always been soft for suicide. I mean, like it's sad. It's sad to be with suicide. I feel really sad that someone gets to that point and doesn't feel like it could be any better.
Yeah.
That knowing how they must feel right before they kill themselves is what breaks my heart.
Dude, I've been there. I think that's why I'm sympathetic to it. I've been there many times. I've
not been there, but I've been, I guess, on that road where you just feel that there's no way anything's going to get better. Now, I haven't got to the part where my only solution is, you know what, I can't do this anymore. But I've been on that path where I'm like, I just don't think it's ever going to get better for me. Yeah. And I know that's a lonely, numb, my fucking fingers go numb because I feel like there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
And to be that 100 times more to where you want to kill yourself is sad to me. And there was a girl in the program who killed herself a couple of years before Robin Williams. And I thought about her. Like, she was always like, hey, what's up? What's up? Like, always like, I know her for like 15 years. And I'm like, this ends her life. And I'm like, how sad you must have been to think that you had nobody to turn to.
Yeah.
And like, I also understand people thinking that there's that you're capable of thinking of others right before you do it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he's had millions of dollars, beautiful wife, 6 kids, had it all. But it's like
none of that matters.
But you think that'll solve all your problems. You haven't achieved that yet to learn that it ain't.
Right.
Or maybe it will. Maybe that is all your problems. Maybe money is your main problem.
Right. But on the other hand, I mean, I see that they understand, like, I love my kids with every inch of my body, right?
Yeah.
I haven't been to a point where I want to kill myself. But with that love, I'm thinking that if I got to that point, I would like go, oh, but I love my kids so much. But because I've never been there, I can't really give that assumption.
Well, or I'll put it even to them like this, like, all right, everybody loves their kids. That's not a secret. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's not, you're not amazing.
No.
You know, that doesn't make you a special parent.
Nope.
Most love their kids. But, okay, how come stop eating shitty foods so you can be around your kids longer? Stop smoking so you can be around your kids longer. Stop driving like an asshole. Stop texting and driving. Stop doing a lot of shit you could be doing that could kill you. Why don't you think about your kids when you do that?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know, just because you do things doesn't mean you don't care about your kids. Like there's guys that are workaholics that because they need to make the money to pay the bills for the family. They're never around.
Right.
Because they love their kids, but you're like, oh, you don't want to be around your kids, you work so much. It's like, no, but I gotta fucking do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like I hate when people like use the kid thing. Like, don't you love your kids? It's like, yeah, but
I just talked to Kirk Smith, you know, whose wife recently committed suicide about a month ago.
Yeah.
We were on the phone 2 days ago. We were talking about his kid, his daughter, and I'm like, how she must feel. And I said, tell your daughter, like, here's the thing. Like kids, like the kids that are alive now that he killed himself and now he has 6 children who will unfortunately, this is unfortunately, it has nothing to do with him and his decision, will unfortunately go through life wondering why he didn't love them enough to stick around.
Right.
At one point, they may get to the point where they realize it wasn't about them.
Right.
But it's going to take some work. So I was telling Kirk his daughter, is we're all on this planet individually. I have 2 children, but I'm still just Mike Gaffney.
Exactly.
I'm just Mike Gaffney. And when everything comes down to it, I'm still just a lonely human who is trying to figure out how to live his life.
That's one thing I learned growing up too. Like you think your parents have like all these answers and perfect. No, then as you become an adult, you're like, fuck, they were making it up.
Yeah,
they're just trying to get through, man.
They're just people. And I said, so your wife. I was telling Kirk, I'm like, your wife's decision to kill, to end her life, ultimately had absolutely nothing to do with any of you. It was all about her.
Yeah,
and it wasn't. The love for your daughter and her son doesn't come into play. That is not the factor. Like, oh, if I love my daughter a little more, maybe I won't kill myself. That's not what's happening.
Yeah.
She loves her daughter as much as she probably humanly can possibly love her daughter. That has absolutely nothing to do why she ended her life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, for the people who are survivors of suicide, you just got to know that no matter how much you love them and no matter how much they loved you, that was not the deciding factor in why they ended their life.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
No. I talked to Kerry about it recently because I was telling her that I was depressed. I mean, I'm very fortunate to have a wife that I can just really say dark shit to. And she goes to me, she's like, is there a problem? Do you need me to? I'm like, no. I was like, I've been depressed and I just am.
Right.
You know, there's no catalyst.
Yeah.
I just feel, and I was telling her, actually, I was driving, her and KP were coming home from eating out one night, and somehow the topic came up. And I was talking about my old sponsor, Freddie, who just passed, and how, like, when I was, the most suicidal, I had a few when I was a kid, but, like, when I got clean, I just was like, I used to say, I want to kill myself. I just don't want to live like this. I hate my mind. I feel like doomed.
Right.
Like all the time. And he was like I remember, like, when I got clean, like, when it was just about being clean, he's like, call me before you use. That's a very common slogan. Before you pick up, give me a call. And he used to say, give me a call before you use, because maybe you have a good excuse to use, and if you do, maybe I'll get high with you. That was his his thing to say. But then it got to the point where I was clean, but I was suicidal.
Right.
And he goes, do me a favor. If you're crazy about staying clean and you want to kill yourself, he's like, do me a favor, get high first. He goes, because you have a shot of living.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, we talked a lot. It's dude, I've been there as a kid, man. The reason why I grew up hunting with guns and shooting guns my whole life, the reason I don't own a gun in my house is because I know who I am.
Right.
It's the reason why there's not one in this house.
Right.
I'm for guns. I shoot guns. I don't want to own guns.
Right.
Because as a child, I remember being in the woods and being depressed and thinking I could do this now.
Right.
And I didn't. And because that's the thing, like, you learn about, like, when you, like, if you read about, like, Chris Cornell, was it like Robin Williams, Chris Cornell, and I think Chester Bennington too. It's like they hung themselves like the doorknob hang where you can get out of it if you want. Because a lot of times when you're suicidal, you think about it, you get close to it.
Robin Williams cut himself but couldn't get it. He had cuts on his wrist, but he couldn't.
You can't do it. I've cut myself in the past.
Right.
When I was in high school.
Right.
It's depressing. You know what I mean? I think to me that's why I have sympathy towards it, and it gets angry because it's like when I hear the selfishness of it. Now, I don't want if any of my family listens to this podcast, I'm very fine. Right. I swear to you. This is. I know I have depression, and I do what I can with it.
Right.
But I'm still against taking pills for some reason. Anytime I want to, like, go talk to someone, I get afraid to do that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Right.
But I don't want anyone to be worried about me. I'm just trying to talk about experience I've had and why I think I'm sympathetic towards people that have done it, because I feel like they have a disease. I consider it like a cancer of their brain.
Right.
That they're dealing with. And
that's why, like what I said, I knew people, I've known people who killed themselves, and I felt the part that my heart broke for them to know how lonely they must feel right before they do it.
Yeah.
That's got to be the loneliest feeling you've ever experienced, and people haven't been there, have no idea. So you can't theorize like, I've been lonely and depressed too. No. Have you been so lonely and depressed that you think your only option is death? Then no, shut your fucking cock mouth.
Yeah.
Just shut it up. Just shut it the fuck up. If you don't have true experience in a situation, stop assuming what you would do if you had that come on you.
Yeah.
You don't know what it feels like, so shut up.
Yeah.
But I can put myself in there. I felt lonely and depressed, and I feel so sad that they felt that lonely and depressed.
Right.
But when Robin killed himself, I looked at it differently, because to see his body of work and what he's put out there from his heart, and how good of an actor he was, and how good of as a funny man and an entertainer, and to know he's been struggling with depression his whole life during all those performances that we all loved.
Yeah.
He was struggling with depression.
Yeah.
Through all of that.
Yeah.
Had millions of fans who loved him, had family who loved him, had money, right? And he could not stop his mind.
Yeah.
And his only way out was death. To me, was like, can you say any more about it, that it's in their brain, and there's not that every person who is in that spot, suicide is the only way out.
Right.
But to know that it's something that they can't stop.
Yeah, that's exactly. I don't know why people can't think it that way. They're very self-centered in their thoughts of it, and they're very cocky, and like,
yeah,
it's like, I mean, there's some cocky motherfuckers I wish were suicidal. It's like, damn, I wish you were a little depressed, because I can't stand your confidence. I can't stand who you think you are. Yeah. So I wish you'd hurt yourself, or somebody else would hurt you in front of me, because you need some sort of something.
But it's the arrogance of people who think how the person who killed himself, how they should feel and how they should approach life. Like, oh, this is what they should have done. Like, well, why do you say that's what you would even do? You've never even been there. Yeah,
that's what I mean. The arrogance of like I don't do it. I have a tough life, so why would you selfish piece of shit? It's like, you're the selfish piece of shit.
Word. You are.
Yeah. You're a selfish piece of shit. And like some of these people that I saw posted are very fat, and it's like, why don't you fucking lose weight? You fat fuck.
Yeah, your kid's going to find you dead with a chicken wing in your hand.
Yeah. To me, that's selfish.
That's selfish.
Why don't you stop eating?
Dude, let me tell you, and that's true, because when my doctor told me you really got to stop eating like the chocolates and stuff like that, and I thought about it, and my first decision was, I don't want my kids to find me dead in my bed.
Right.
That's because I don't want them to find me.
No,
like
but
if I can do something to avoid that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not going to happen. That might be the way it goes anyhow. But I can't sit there and throw tons of shit down my throat and go like, I hope they don't find me this way. Like, well, then stop shoving pizza down your throat at 1 a.m.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the arrogance of not only, I mean, the suicide thing is sensitive, because who the fuck are you? There's a whole family of people that are close to these people that are mourning the death of their loved one. And who are you to tell them how wrong their loved one was?
Right.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. Like when a kid does it, you feel extra bad because you feel like they may have not given themselves a shot.
Right.
But like a guy in his 50s, 60s, he's probably like, dude, I've been doing this for you people for fucking 40 years. I'm done.
Right. Well, I think you know that he's got to be just sitting there. If you don't think his kids come up in his mind, like that. Think about that.
And a lot of the families already know they're like that. It's not like this is happy-go-lucky Tommy, who's never then just one day does it.
Right.
No, you've been dealing with this your whole life.
So I always tell the people, like I said, I love my kids with all my heart. If I got to the point to where I wanted to kill myself, do you know how much I've been thinking about them and the heartbreak that I already feel before I do it?
Yeah.
Because I obviously know that this is going to devastate them. And that's going to hurt me even more, which probably pushes you to the final end because you're like, wow, I'm willing to really fuck my whole family for this. I'm done. I must be done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that must just do it. And then you get, like you said, you cut yourself. It's so hard to do that. That's why, like, you know, like Kirk's wife just jumped.
Yeah.
Like, there is no thoughts here. I'm just going.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the documentary yet, but there's that documentary, The Bridge, where they interview people that survived the Golden Gate Bridge suicide jump. And
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard it's a pretty good documentary, but some people had said, like, they were feeling it, and then they jumped, and, like, after they're like, I don't want to do this.
It's,
I mean, luckily
really?
some of them survived, but, you know, but think about it, though. For a moment, that person was totally in another world where this was rational.
Yes.
And not until they jumped did they realize.
Right.
So that goes to show how powerful the human mind is, how it's not a selfish act, how you're not in your right frame of mind.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to, like, I would love to get across to people. Like, this isn't a rational decision these people are making.
Right.
With the thoughts of their children in their mind.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like, I don't know. I don't know. You have a little bit more sympathy. And then the other thing is, my other theory was they were not shitting on Chris Cornell nearly as much, who had children as well, or Robin Williams, who had children as well, for his selfishness, as Chester Bennington. And I feel because they didn't like his music, they were easier to call him a piece of shit, which makes you even more garbage.
Right.
You know what I mean? It makes you more garbage that you're like you were singing hosannas to Chris Cornell.
Right.
But because you don't like this guy's music.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this fucking piece of shit killed himself. He made garbage music anyway. I'm like, you're such
what does that have to do with it?
What type of human are you? Please walk in front of a truck.
Right.
like you're just a garbage person that would publicly say something like that.
Garbage.
You're garbage. It's just garbage, man.
Garbage, and then the people who comment on it, he will attract more garbage, and then they can sit there like 20 people at the end of a bar talking shit about people they have no idea who they are, no idea about their situations, judge them, and feel good about their shit existence.
Yeah, exactly. So, people, think about people with suicide as a disease, people, and
Stop being arrogant and condescending and talking about experiences that you don't have.
Exactly.
My good friend's father killed himself in front of his family.
Yeah. That's
you know what
rude.
I'm saying?
That's rude, but I mean, yeah, I'm sorry.
Shot himself in his head in front of his family.
You think that guy was in his right frame of mind?
Right.
You think that guy was making a rational decision? Like, you think work was stressing him that week? No, this is that's the end of years of torture.
Right. And it was a disaster, and their family suffered. Some of them were fine with it, and some of them, took longer to get okay with it. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. But
like, if I talk to him now, I guarantee he wouldn't be like my fucking selfish fucking father. It's not going to be like
I
that.
spoke with a friend of ours. I can tell you off air because I don't want to write his name, but he told me about it, and he had a great take on it. His first hand,
right?
My father did this, and like almost like he felt it courageous that his dad had the courage to take himself out of his misery. Was basically what he told me. He was miserable, staying alive for us.
Right.
And it's like, wow, exactly,
Right.
And he's a person who, if anyone's going to say, I think it's a selfish act, would be a guy like him that experienced it.
Right. Right. And there may be family members who did experience it who feel that and maybe never let it go. Like my father was telling, my mom was telling. They may feel that forever.
Yeah.
But you don't get to just say it because in your mind, 1 + 1 = 2, and that motherfucker should have thought about his kids, piece of shit.
Yeah.
The fuck out of here. You. What's the hardest day you've gone through? I mean, yeah, of course. It's just don't put yourself in other people's fucking experiences if you haven't done it. I remember somebody shared.
Well, everyone thinks their struggle is insane.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That was that shit ass meme. People you never know people struggle. Be kind to everybody. Something kind to everyone. Everyone's fighting a struggle that you know nothing about.
Sounds like a real long meme, Joe.
It's long. It's long. It's a long. So long. I can't even remember it, but I get it. It's very dramatic.
I remember going to meetings when I first was got clean. And this is kind of where I got this lesson. My buddy JT, who was my age, but he had like 7 years clean when I got clean, 24 years old. He, this woman shared about her mother dying, and she was a mess. And then someone said, you know what, my parents are alive, but I know that would be really hard, so you got to do this. And JT was like, put his hand and was like, how about you shut the fuck up? Your parents didn't die, so you cannot give her advice on what she should do about the feelings of her mom dying.
Right.
You can't do it. Just shut your fucking face. You have no experience. And right then I was like, yeah, that's so true. Like how am I going to give you advice on something I don't experience? I can say to you, hey, listen, I'm sure you're hurting. I'm here if you need me. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say to you, hey, man, my parents are alive, but you know what you should do for that situation? Fuck you, what I should do. Go through it and tell me what you did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I learned that lesson when I was young. And then another thing JT had said one time, you were talking about your sponsor, you said he'd rather you get high than beat. As JT said, some woman a guy put his hand up and he just was like, he was feeling miserable. He's like, I just don't want to feel anymore. I don't want to feel this anymore. And everybody just shared, and like nobody really shared to him. And he's like, JT put his hand up. He's like, that guy, he didn't share and burn desires. I'm like, he's not sharing and burn desires. And he didn't say he wants to get high, but I'm more worried about that guy than anybody in this room. Because he just said he doesn't want to feel anymore. Yeah. And the only way to not feel anymore is to kill yourself. Yeah. You don't get the option to not feel and be alive. You know what I mean? Like that was more scary than the guy who said, I think I want to go get a drink tonight. Like, just go drink, you fucknut. Yeah. That guy's the one we're worried about. The guy who doesn't want to feel life anymore.
Yeah. My old home group, the Basic Blue group, Wednesdays in Spotswood when I was new, they used to greet me like that when I used to come in. Hey, you didn't kill yourself this week. That's how they used to greet me, because that's literally how I shared a lot when I was new.
Hey, there's the guy that didn't kill himself this week.
Yeah. But it was almost like a funny thing, like a warm thing, because I knew they cared about me. And
Right.
Yeah. It was.
Hey, you kill yourself this week. Good to see you.
I hate to end the podcast on suicide, but I got to go do shit with my wife. And it's your birthday. I'm sure you want to get to your birthday.
Well, not really. But my daughter's taking me out to dinner.
Yeah.
At like 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Cool.
Yeah. Suicide.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to think. I have a great story to end on than suicide. Anything good happen? I told you I did that. We hung out the other night in New York. I had that midnight spot you dropped me off at.
Yeah, right.
And you were there at the beginning of the show where you saw there was like a little talky 10-year-old kid in a midnight show at the Broadway Comedy Club, and they were like almost like heckling. So you're like, you pop your head in and you're like, oh, this is gonna suck dick. Because like my midnight spot, because the show started late, turned into a 12:25 spot.
Right.
And I'm like, ugh, and it was humid. But like I've been saying this thing to because I used to psych myself out a lot. I'm like, you don't have to have a bad time.
Right.
Like I tell myself that.
Yeah, it's good.
Like, just because the environment may suck right now, you can go have a good time.
Right.
So I went up there like, I'm having a good time. And it wound up going really good, the set. Because kids usually bug me out. And I was making this little kid laugh. Giggle. A midnight show in New York City. He's from Hawaii, that little kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I got a high five from him as I'm leaving the stage. That's so I was like, good night, everybody. And I come off, and the kid get up off his seat and gave me a high five. Nice. And I told Carrie, I'm like, there's something about if I can make kids laugh or black people laugh, I feel like I'm the funniest guy in the room.
What if you make a black kid laugh?
That is my unicorn. That's my Mount Everest. That's my Mount Everest. A teenage black kid.
Belly
laugh. Then I'm dropping the mic. I'm retiring. Then I'll know my set's ready. You bomb on TV. What happened? Dude, I swear, my kids love this. I don't know what happened. I don't know. That's the hardest demographic. Young homies.
That's a fact.
It's a fact. That's a scientific fact. Hardest crowd. But no, that was it was just cool to see this little blonde hair little kid go up and give me a high five.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because, when you have that second show and it's late, you're like, I don't want this to be a long ride home because I know one lane's going to be closed in the tunnel.
Right.
I know I'm going to be, it's going to be 1 a.m. and I'm going to be sad. But I was like, all right, this is going to be a nice ride. I hit traffic. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just turned Led Zeppelin up higher. I'm like, been a long time since I rock and roll.
I was at the Cellar last night. I was and for a Saturday night, usually you don't see the names, but David Spade was there.
Oh, wow.
Colin Quinn, Bill Burr, Jim Norton.
Damn.
Can you imagine? And that was like the 8:30 show, the 8 o'clock show. They all went on. Can you imagine the audience at the 8 o'clock show?
Oh, that's amazing, dude.
Can you imagine the audience at the 8 o'clock show sitting down there waiting for, and no big deal, waiting for a Phil Hanley, waiting for Ryan Hamilton, which are amazing, funny guys.
Right.
But then Norton comes on. You're like, oh, no, first Colin Quinn comes on, and then Norton comes on, and then Bill Burr comes on, and then fucking David Spade comes on?
Yeah.
It's like you couldn't do anymore. Don't bring me another guy. I don't want any more acts. We're good.
I had a night like that early in my comedy career when I was just an open micer. Me and my friend Catherine went to the Comedy Cellar because I wanted to go to the Comedy Cellar. Never been.
Yeah. Right.
And you never know who's going to be there. And it was one of those nights because Norton was there, Colin was there, Jerry Seinfeld was there, Chris Rock was there, Ray Romano was there. I'm like, I was blowing my goddamn mind. Louis C.K. was there, but Louis C.K. wasn't as...
Yeah.
But it was just like you kind of heard of... I kind of heard of him then just because I just started getting into comedy, but it was just mind-blowing.
Right.
It was mind-blowing. And that was the first time I saw Godfrey.
Oh, really?
And I never heard of him.
He closed that show out. Right?
And was the funniest one of the night.
Right.
I saw all these famous guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, who the fuck is that? That dude had us tearing.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You were just like, how do I not know who that motherfucker is? That's...
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, all that star power hit the stage, and you're like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah, and he closed it out and murdered.
Yeah, murdered.
Somebody was telling me, I forget, I was talking to one of the Cellar comics one time I worked with on the road where he hosts there a lot. I don't know if it was Fenoya or one of those guys,
right.
But they said, when, a lot of these audiences come because they're expecting somebody famous to pop in.
Yeah.
And he says, there's nights where nobody does, where it's just the regular crew. And he said, you just almost feel the disappointment as it's getting on later tonight. He said, because some of them have the same credits as some of these famous people, we're in their movies or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So you start naming it, and then they're like, ah! And then it's Keith Robinson. It's they're like, all right. You think Amy Schumer's coming in, or
right.
I thought it was a pretty funny take because I don't work there. It was pretty funny how he said how you could definitely see because they started with this excitement, who's going to be here, and as it's getting on, it's oh, nobody's going to be here.
Nobody dropped in. Although
they got a great show, they because they want their moment.
That's why they went there.
They went there because I can say Chris Rock was there, Louis C.K. was there.
That's the thing about the Cellar is the show is amazing, but the anticipation of who may stop by is what fills the place. And that's kind of fucked up because the names that aren't on the board are what brings people to the club.
Yeah.
The names on the board are great.
Yeah.
And they have to be an awesome show. You can't put a bunch of open micers up and hope Chappelle shows up. You know what I'm saying? You got to put on the beasts of comedians. But the audience has that little bit of anticipation. So it's almost like when you're at LOL and the audience is anticipating Tina Fey to come in.
Who's not even a stand-up.
No.
The Barkers can't even lie properly.
Yeah. Yeah, Tina Fey.
Paul Giamatti's going to be there tonight. Oh, awesome. What? Quentin Tarantino would be at the Broadway Comedy Club tonight. He is? I love his movies.
They say Tina Fey, and they say Amy Poehler, and they say who else? They say Caroline Rhea a lot. I don't know why.
These people have to know at the door that they've
Oh, so they walk up to the podium of the black guy.
Yeah.
Yo, stand-up comedy
They
tonight.
gotta know at that point. If you don't know at that point, then then you're just a human that hasn't been around the block enough. Like if you even approach that place and not be like, we got fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Walking up, you got to be like totally disappointed. Like, oh, that sucked.
Like I feel like you have accepted it if you're on the stairs.
Exactly.
I've bought Coke in nicer places.
Right. No, that walk up that staircase has got to be the most like eye-opening, awakening situation. Like, wow, we really need to start vetting our street barkers better than we did.
Yeah.
Because we got fucked. There's no way Caroline Ray is coming in here.
Yeah. All right. We have to end this because I have to go look at Tile.
Oh, okay.
So I have Comedy Works coming up this weekend in Bristol, PA. Go to joefernandez.net. You can get a link to the page. I think you got to call a number to make reservations. There's not like a ticket buying option. Right. So if you live in that area, and if you plan on coming to Bristol, if you know me, you live in that area, come Saturday because I want to go see the fight after. So it'd be cool if we have a crew. So I'm not rolling into a bar.
I'll come with you that night.
Okay, cool. And so that's what I have. And then I'll be headlining Uncle Vinny's August 9th and 10th, I believe. It's a Wednesday, Thursday. So
nice. I'm just at Dangerfield's doing the Character Floyd show on Thursday and Saturday. Thursday's 8 o'clock, Saturday's a 5 o'clock show.
Oh, cool.
If you're around. And then I'll head down with you.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. We appreciate all the support. You've been listening to All in Our Heads.